If you're feeling overwhelmed and are just stressed out by your space and with school coming up or whatever you have coming up this fall for you, and you just need some motivation and inspiration, I have a transformation for you. And hopefully this video will give you all the motivation and inspiration you need to tackle the project that you need to tackle. So starting off, I'm just going to start off in one corner and just move around the room, just because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And I'm also going to be including some tips and tricks, so hopefully I can make doing the project that you need to tackle a lot easier. So I'm just starting by categorizing everything, and then as we categorize, we quickly go through, decide whether or not this item is being used, and if not, we're going to put it in a pile to be able to let go of. And then after I was able to clear off the spot, I did a quick wipe down. Voila, looks so good, keeping things clean and fresh. And then after that, I'm going to move into the drawer. I'm going to pull every single thing out, and then again, categorize, make sure that what is there is something that is being used, and then whatever is not being used is going to be either thrown away or given away or donated, and just depending on what items you are tackling. So at this point, I am wiping down the drawer so that I can make sure that it is all clean and fresh. And we were actually able to get rid of most of what was in this drawer. And so we ended up rehoming these so that we could use this space for something else. And definitely when you are going through items, analyze whether or not you need them. Do they need to be taking up the space that they are taking? And is there a good reason that you're keeping these items? Now, whether or not you are aiming for minimalism or just trying to have less in your home to where you can have a more manageable home that is more peaceful and where you don't have to worry about constantly having stuff to do and your to-do list becomes ever long. And I absolutely love the idea of the silent to-do list that the Minimalism actually put me on. I read the book from Fumio Sasaki, Goodbyethings. It is such a great read, and I would definitely suggest anyone looking to minimalize their home or struggling letting go of things to read that book. It is so good. And essentially what him and the Minimal Mom in her video, The Silent To-Do List, they are letting us know and just bringing the light to the fact that our items are constantly telling us what to do and constantly bullying us in a sense. Not everything is actually negative, but a lot of it is, especially if you have a lot of stuff and you feel like you can never get on top of anything, and it's constantly telling us that we're not good enough, that we're not a good mom, that we need to lose weight. There's just a lot of things that like mainstream media also tells us to do, but our things can also play a big role in that. Essentially, the main thing I want to let you guys know from that is let go of items that you don't need, because the less items you have on your to-do list, the less you have weighing down on you, and the more peace that you can feel, and the more time and energy you'll be able to sow into yourself and others. And you'll just be a happier person when you don't have to worry about every single thing, plus your health, your well-being. It's so nice. And so that's why I think that is something super important to bring to light, is the stuff that you have is affecting you, and it is either positive or negative. And so these positive items, these are the ones that we're using every day, the clothes that we feel cute in, that help us with our confidence, and it just makes life so much easier when the stuff that we love and that bring us joy are super easy to find. Whereas the stuff that has a negative effect on us, the clutter that seems to just build up, and I like this term, a mold in a basement. Have you guys heard that? I thought it was hilarious. But essentially, the stuff that is making our lives so much harder is the stuff that we do not even need to be holding on to. So just let it go, and it just makes life so much easier. Anyways, I want to move on to my next point so that we can continue on with any inspiration and hopefully give you guys a couple of nuggets that you have not heard before, so that you guys can be able to feel vibrant and just rejuvenated to be able to tackle the space ahead of you. So obviously a tip that you may have actually heard before is to decant, but if you haven't already, it makes such a big difference being able to get rid of that packaging, especially if there's only a couple of things in it and it's just in this like dingy packaging that's all ripped or tattered. Like, it's time to let that go. And if you want to take it up a level, put it in a cute basket. There are some great ones, and depending on what you want and what you want in your space, baskets can be great, especially because then you can set up the boundary, and that way things will stay in that space and they won't start bleeding into everything else. And it just works perfectly. So I put some bins under here so we could make homes for these items, and it just makes things so much nicer. And then I was able to take these items out. Sayonara. Let me know in the comments down below what space you are tackling or what space you need to tackle. And also, if you are not already, feel free to tackle the space that you need to tackle while you're watching this. I find it so motivating to be able to have either a YouTube video on in the background or an audiobook, and it just helps me have that motivation to keep on going, and I absolutely love it. So I definitely suggest that. Start, get up, do 5 minutes, see how much you can get done, race yourself. I found it is so helpful to be able to make a game out of it, because instead of being this overwhelming task, it is this fun game. Another thing is you can challenge one of your friends to do the same thing. You guys can both show the space beforehand and then say, okay, we're both going to go in and tackle it for like an hour and see what progress you guys are able to make. See how much you guys were able to get rid of, especially if the space seems to be overfilled with clutter and items you just don't know what to do with. If you're not going to use it in the next year, there's a good chance that you won't need it. Let it go. Let someone else use it. Bless someone else's life who can use it now, and free up that space. That freed up mind is so worth every penny that you spent on those items. Let it go. Let go of the guilt. You've already done it. Move on, and you'll forget about it. It'll be so perfect, and the benefits you'll reap are going to be amazing. So, perfect. Also, if it is not something that you are using on a regular basis, pull it out of your everyday rotation and your weekly rotation. Like, it does not need to be in a space that you could utilize for something else, and where you can actually use that space for something that makes more sense, and make it so that your items have space to breathe, and it just makes things so nice. So I was getting some items put together so that we could have the Christmas items put aside so that they could be pulled out when Christmas is ready, but otherwise this space would be able to be utilized for something else. And it just makes it so much nicer, because then items won't be thrown back to the back of this cupboard, and things will be able to be seen, and you'll know exactly what's in there, because when you open the cupboard, you'll be able to see what's there. And so that was what my goal was with this space. So yeah, take things out of rotation that don't need to be there. If you aren't using it now, but you will use it in a different season, just put it in a bin, put a label on it, and it will make things so much easier. Or if you don't think you'll use it, put it in the time will tell bin. I love that. I love that term from the minimalism. And essentially just put it aside, and then you can see whether or not you need these items later. See if these items are sparking joy. I just absolutely love Marie Kondo too. Like, all these people are so amazing, and it is such a good idea to be able to listen to different books, be able to read different books, and just get as much knowledge as possible as you go about your decluttering journey, because it just makes things so much easier, being able to look at things from a different perspective, and also realizing the effect that our stuff has on us is such a huge blessing when you are trying to let go of stuff. When you realize that having less stuff could affect your mental health in a positive way, there's no reason that you would want to keep the stuff. Like, of course I want to have more peace. I want to be able to have more energy and not have to have all this burden on me. Of course. And so it just makes things so much easier. And there are so many good books and so many good YouTubers. And I hope that you are getting a ton of information and that these videos are motivating. I hope that this transformation motivates you so much that you just want to tackle the rest of your house, but if not, at least the space, and you can watch it again if you need more motivation for a different space, Anyways. Quick, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm so grateful for every single one of you that are watching this video, and I hope that this video is just blessing you and giving you motivation and inspiration, because I think that is something that is super important when you are tackling any project, because they can be very daunting. They can be very stressful. And so any burden that I can lift off of you, I would love to do that. I have a ton of more transformations I would love to show you guys. I might even change it to Tuesday. I was thinking Transformation Tuesdays. If you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comments down below, or I can still do Wednesdays if Wednesdays work great for you guys. But I would love to show you guys transformations, and I haven't decided whether I'll do them weekly or bi-weekly, but I would love to just give you guys all the tools, all the motivation and inspiration that you guys need. And I just know that our stuff is constantly surrounding us, and so just tackle a little bit. I am tackling a huge space, and I wouldn't suggest this for you. Maybe if you're needing to get it done in one day, get a crew over, get your family over, get people to help. People will help you. People love to help you. People, okay? Get your husband on board, get your kids on board. The benefits are going to be so amazing. And so I just want everyone to get their homes to where they're easy to take care of, they're easy to maintain. You're able to let go of the clutter. You're able to make wiser decisions with your money because you realize what you do and do not like. And it just makes life so much easier. I think one of my favorite tips is clearing off as many surfaces as possible, and it just makes things so much nicer. So right here, I'm trying to get as much off the floor as possible, because the sooner you can start seeing clear surfaces, the sooner you'll be able to see the progress that you're making. And progress equals motivation, and it just keeps you motivated. Okay, it is so amazing. And so anything we can do to be able to see the progress to help us stay motivated, to be able to keep on going with our project, is the best. And so I absolutely love clearing off any sort of surface that you can. So like if this is your bedroom, you're clearing off your bed, or you're clearing off the floor, or you're clearing off the tables, and just being able to see that progress just gives you that little bit of a win to be able to continue making wins as you continue throughout your house and throughout each room. And one of my favorite things that you may have seen in some of my old cleaning videos is I love to get a lid, and I love to just bring everything to the center. Because of how this room was made, I didn't technically need to even do that because there wasn't a ton on the floor. But if there's a ton of stuff on the floor, I love getting a lid and getting everything into a central location, sitting down at that spot and just going through things and putting them in piles so that I can assess and see what I need from there, but to where I'm not getting up, getting down, getting up, getting down. And it just makes it a lot easier. And also, I have ADHD brain, so if I am getting up, getting down so many times, I will not finish and I will find something else. And so if you're anything like me, then just being able to get everything to a central location is perfect. And so that's just what the tip I want to leave you guys with is make sure that you are seeing that progress and that you're not moving too much to where you forget what you're doing or you get distracted. So right now there was a lot in this cupboard, especially pushed to the back, things that can be forgotten easily. So I am just taking every single thing out of here so I can wipe it down, and that way we can fully assess the items that were in here, see what needs to be put back, see if we can be able to toss or recycle anything, and it will just make things so much easier. and also being able to like revisit what you actually have, because I feel like a lot of us can forget what we have, especially if these items have been pushed to the back for a while. It's just so nice to be able to fully assess what you have and also get excited about things you may have forgotten about. And if they have been buried and you will use them, then perfect. Of course you should keep them. Also, if you've been able to get along this far without them, just reconsider whether or not that item is really worth storing, because if you're able to forget about it, is it really that important? But then again, you can probably keep a couple of items, but just make sure that you're using that item and make sure that you are able to get the full value out of it. And so I am just going throughout removing things off these shelves so I can remove any dust that has built up around these items. Just give it a clean wipe and whew, it looks so nice. Remove any dust, and then I can also reassess what item should actually be put back and put it back in a way that will be able to help the space function a lot better. How satisfying is this dust removal? Oh, I absolutely love it. And so yeah, I'm just going to continue going down. What is your favorite thing when decluttering? What is the most satisfying to you? Do you love seeing your declutter pile? Do you love seeing the dirt be wiped away? Do you love seeing the floor get swept or vacuumed? Do you love, I don't know, like what do you love about it? What is the most satisfying part of your decluttering process? I would love to know down below. Make sure to share, because I would love to read that and I will respond. And I just want to make sure that you feel loved and that you feel seen. Here you see me playing a little bit of Tetris. What a fun game. I absolutely love it. Like, who needs the game? You just do it in your house, you know? Now I'm going to start placing some items back so I can kind of get an idea of where they would fit and get a good idea of how I could make this space function. And it just makes it so fun, and it's just good to see where the progress is made and the rooms just look so much better and how much we're able to declutter. It just feels so good. I absolutely love seeing all the progress. At this point, I'm just quickly putting items away in the general area, and especially if you are starting to feel a little bit spent, then this may be a good point where you start getting to an ending point to where when you are rejuvenated and you can make better decisions, you can take on the task a little bit later. I definitely wanted to see everything get done. I just wanted the surface layer to be perfect. And then when you go a little bit deeper, things can be tidied up a little bit more, but it's just gonna be a lot easier when things are in the general area. And honestly, this is actually good enough to where if this is how it was left, it would be perfect. But there's also a couple things that obviously it could be placed a little bit cuter, however you want to do it, whatever your focus is. If you just want function, this is perfect. If you want to go a little bit more cutesy Pinterest, that is up to you, because I mean, depending on what's going to bring you joy and what you want to put your time and energy into, that is perfect. So yeah, whatever you want to do. As you can see, I'm just quickly finishing the desk, and I'm just gonna get ready so I can clear it off, wipe it down, get all that dust off, and then after that, I'm just going to quickly make sure that the floor is cleared off, get everything ready so that I can sweep and get the room ready for the reveal. I'm going to hurry and move this stuff over here so that the section over by the food can just be food, and then this space can be used for the arts and crafty stuff. And that way things are just paired together so you know exactly where to look when you are looking for stuff. Get things paired together and it'll make things so much easier. Now I'm just quickly doing my sweepy sweep. Look at all that dirt that was on the floor that we were able to get off the floor. I love a good clean floor. And now it's time for the reveal. I'm so excited to show you guys. If you remember what it looked like before, there was just a lot of stuff. And now it is so open. I feel like there's so much more space in this room. There's so much potential, especially if they want to move a couple things around, because we opened up space. She can move things from other places in her house into this space. I want to leave some open space for those other items so that the whole house could feel open and free. And I just absolutely love how this transformation came together. It was so nice to be able to see the results and how much we were able to get rid of and let go of the space. Items she never has to handle again. I would love to hear what you guys tackle and how much you guys are able to let go of, and how much change and how different your house feels once it is decluttered. It just is such an amazing feeling, and I just want every person to know what a clutter-free space feels like. Look at these results. I am so happy with how much we're able to get rid of and be able to free up from the space. And now the space is more open and feels so good. I love a good clutter-free space because it is so much easier to feel peace, and I just love it. I'm so excited. And I hope you guys were able to get the motivation and inspiration to tackle your space. I'll see you next week's video. For more motivation to take control of your space, watch my decluttering playlist. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!